If Bitcoin goes to 40 grand, CleanSpark's going to have a problem. But every miner is going to have a problem. That's a fact. Every Bitcoin holder is going to have a problem too.
So IREN, you said, is now trading spot for their energy. So that what makes that so risky now is all these other miners are in these long-term contracts. So whether they're more expensive or whether they're cheaper, right, relative to whatever the spot is, it's at least a reliable price that you know they're going to have to pay for the long term. Whereas IRA now is completely at the whim of whatever the market is. So if natural gas decides energy starts to spike, IRA now becomes the odd man out and is going to be shedding profits more so than any other miner.
I don't necessarily think it plays out that way. I think the way it will play out is IREN busted a number for having a hedge. I think, anyway, let's assume that's what they had, and they busted a number. Their management team immediately goes into, hey, let's fix that. We're just going to buy a spot. If electricity prices go from 400 a meg to 4,000, what happens to CleanSpark? I mean, IREN, are they going to buy $4,000 megawatt, or are they going to just turn off their mining facilities? They're going to turn off, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, to be honest, I don't know how to...
They're going to turn off, and so are the people who sold call options to the utilities. They too will stop mining. See, this is a problem. I mean, you're going to stop mining Bitcoin. They wouldn't just
try to take out loans?
No, you're going to stop mining Bitcoin when the cost of electricity is $4,000. Okay, nobody is going to mine Bitcoin. They're going to sell into the power grid, right? So then, who's mining Bitcoin?
They're like the cheapest contracts.
Cheapest contracts. Like you're going to sell $4,000 a megawatt. You fuck Bitcoin. See, this is my point. Bitcoin mining, when it's most needed, will be sold to the power companies. Like the miner's not going to get the $3,500 arbitrage. They gave it away to the utility. The utility's not sitting there going, hey, miner, sell me $4,000 power, dude. Okay? Like they can always get power. They don't want $4,000 power. They want $300 power. And that's why they're calling CleanSpark. Hey, by the way, I get your $300 power I paid you $50 for. $50 premium, whatever they paid. My point is, IREN will miss the $4,000 sale, and they'll miss the Bitcoin sale. You see, this is an issue. So when you don't have your energy locked down, So we'll see who survives this. My point is, I've never seen a professional trader not bust their numbers, and that includes ExxonMobil, Shell, Royal Dutch Shell, Mobil, Conoco, BP, and everybody else. So just because you own a bunch of energy doesn't mean you can't lose a shitload of money selling energy.
It's crazy to me how crazy the energy market is. And it makes sense more in my mind why someone would be willing to pay for more expensive energy just to lock in a steady price in a contract, and then let the energy producer, the utilities, then have to deal with the fluctuations. Because then if you're buying at spot, now all that stress of the fluctuations goes on the company as opposed to the utility. And so that's why you're saying that some of these miners are going to get wrecked because they think they can trade energy because of how volatile and aggressive the energy market is. Because it's shifting responsibility their way that they either don't need to take on or previously have not had to take on.
Yeah, just to be clear, okay, Bitcoin is not a volatile product, okay? I know everybody talks about how volatile it is, but compared to electricity and natural gas, Bitcoin is a walk in the park. So Imagine now, oh, wow, I'm having to deal with Bitcoin volatility and power. Oh, you're buying power on a 30-minute cycle? Wow. I sure hope you know everything that's going on both upstream and downstream of your power systems and where you're pricing that. It's a different business, man. And when I tell you that I don't know any professional traders who hasn't, come close to blowing their companies up with power and nat gas, like we haven't seen shit in Bitcoin yet. I mean, imagine that. Exxon could easily lose $500 million trading energy. And they own it, dude. Okay, these markets are ruthless. I mean, they don't surrender any nobody gets a gimme or bonus for having a big logo. And I think the point I'm trying to make is that, Goldman Sachs doesn't need an oil position or a power position to trade it. Right? These are professional traders. They do not need to understand engineering. They're understanding supply and demand, logistics, weather, things that impact energy are staggering. Bitcoin's nowhere near the complexity of energy. Not even close, man.
Bitcoin, buying and holding Bitcoin sounds a lot easier and nicer than everything described today. A lot easier and nicer.
Look, you look at these mining companies and go, wow, why is Gary in the mining companies? Well, probably because I couldn't buy Bitcoin. I could not buy Bitcoin in this facility. I could have bought the ETFs, but I mean, to be a miner, you have to understand power. You have to understand natural gas. You have to get right-of-ways, just like as if you were an oil company. You have to understand data. You have to understand data mining, ASICs. Then you have to understand Bitcoin, right? Oh, you also have to go find a load of capital and tap into the debt markets and launch an ATM and irritate your customers, irritate your shareholders every time you hit the ATM, which is why all the miners are down this morning, because CleanSpark's going to tag it. They're going to go hit that ATM hard. They're going to raise a bunch of money. Then the stock's going to go back up. So I like their ability to be able to raise money and buy. This is most definitely this space is going to get consolidated, the mining space. So you're totally right, dude. If you look at this versus mining, you buy Bitcoin. You buy Bitcoin and you don't worry about their debt. You don't worry about how many exahash they're doing. You don't have to worry about any of that. Like, I'm buying Bitcoin, dude. My duration's 8 years, and I'll take a look at what happens then. And you're never going to get flushed out. And the size of your position, you just keep adding Bitcoin. It's so simple. It is so simple.
Yeah, it strengthens my resolve on what I'm doing currently.
Yeah. No, look, I think people can get caught up with doing a lot, but accomplishing very little.